polynomials, right? It could be to the degree could be squared, the degree could be to the third, the degree could be to the fourth. It's just all of them, right? It's the whole category. We worked a lot at the beginning of the year on solving quadratic equations. Quadratic equations are to what power? Second, yes. So they are squared. Polynomial equations, that includes all the different kinds. The methods that we use to solve them are all very similar. So think, if you can anyone remember some of the methods we use to solve quadratics? Graphing, yes. What are
the best one?
What are we? Oh, but we can't always use it.
I disagree.
What do we look for, Cade, when we're graphing?
Your kind of slope. Your y equals.
No. What are we looking for on the graph to solve the equation?
Oh, where it crosses the
Yes. X-intercepts.
Also factoring, right?
Yes. So when you're graphing, you're looking for the x-intercept. So with a quadratic, your solutions to the equation would be right there. All right. It works the same thing.
Miss Brown,
Yes.
do you have Emily Bass?
Yes.
Can you send her to the office? She's signing out.
She tricked us.
Thanks.
She
Okay,
made us
thank you.
think she was staying.
At least I showed up.
You did.
For 5 minutes.
All right. For
You know, if you ever get kidnapped, no one's gonna know that you're like.
Hey,
Thank
can I
you.
have my notebook?
Yes.
The police aren't gonna put out a ABP on you for like 4 days.
Dang.
Maybe longer.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, so graphing works the same for these as well. You can find your solutions here, here, and here, right? Or however many times it crosses the x-axis or bounces off the x-axis. That works too. Sometimes you'll see one that goes like that, right? You have one here and just one here. We've seen these bounce off the x-axis, right? You can solve these by graphing. We can also solve them by, Joni said factoring, or Kinley said factoring. In both of these instances, graphing and factoring, you need to make your equation equal to 0, okay?
I just want to learn how to do that thing.
What thing?
Yeah, how do you do that?
How's that? I don't know.
S and then upside down S.
Draw a bird.
Maybe it's because of music. We use, I think, do we use that in music? Is that why I can
Yeah,
draw
you use that in music.
It's a rest. It's like a rest. No, a rest is like that.
That's the bracket that they
Yeah.
use in like.
Do you know how to draw
Music writing, you gotta learn how to like do
a treble
Oh
clef?
god.
Wow.
I used to love drawing that.
That's so confusing.
Draw
We
a
should
rest.
we should do music theory. Music theory
Go for
is
it.
just like math music.
Yeah, Miss Brown, that's what we're doing in music right now.
Let's learn it in here.
Inquire. I love theory.
Honestly, I'd rather do that than
What does that even
factoring.
mean?
So
It means
It'd
we're
be more
doing something
relevant to
we.
your life.
it
It
would.
means we're learning
I will
something
never
we all
create
learned how
music,
to do
and
in
yet it will
kindergarten.
be more relevant.
My dad tried to explain to me that programming and math are in every single thing in life now.
They are.
So,
Math is in everything you
Math
do.
is in everything.
But
not-
this math isn't.
not
but he
this.
said programming.
Yes, programming is just
Well,
adding a set of numbers into a scenario to get a result from said scenario.
That is true.
It's 7 in the morning.
Also, Trump's hair is the Fibonacci sequence.
What? Where did this come from?
Who?
The internet.
Well, my voice can't handle it.
Wait, who?
I was like, wait, why are you writing
Who
that
asked?
again?
I know. I didn't mean to write all of that. I probably should
Somebody on the internet. I don't know. Trump probably does
You
too.
can
He's
just
like,
put factory. This is gonna be our factory.
I'm sure if he heard it, he'd be like, my hair is perfect.
I can't do the job.
I can't either. Why does he talk about himself like he's the Hulk?
So let's talk real quick
Talks
about
in
the
third
meaning
person.
of math words. Okay, solve. My students use this word all the time. Solve. Okay, what does solve mean?
Find the answer.
Fine. Okay. Yeah, but what does solve also like indicate?
Equal.
Working out.
equation.
What'd you wait? Say that again, Madison.
Putting it in a
The
calculator and
problem,
watching
right?
it happen.
Solve means that there has to be a problem, right? So
Does it?
the problem is we don't know what x equals. So you can't really solve something. You're really not using the correct word if there's not an equal sign, okay? There's nothing to solve because x could be anything if there's no equal sign. There's really not a problem, all right? So when there is an equal sign, then you can solve. If I just had this, there's nothing to solve. Like there's no, there's no equation. X could be anything. So I might ask you to factor this, but you can't solve this until there's an equal sign because now it's balanced and you have something to work with. All right, before you can solve, make sure everything is on the left and it's equal to 0. All right, if you are asked to solve by factoring, we first want to, what's the first thing we check for? Very first, when we're factoring. Common, yes, common monomial, common factor. Do that first, check. There may not always be that, but sometimes there is. So we can divide all of this by, thankfully we can get rid of this. We can divide everything by 2, right? And we can divide everything by x. So 2x, and then here we're left with x squared minus 6x plus
I feel accomplished.
9.
I don't
9.
know what I'm doing.
Check.
I was
Hmm?
thinking
I feel
of
accomplished.
Oh my gosh. That's a lot of blue.
Quick question. What if it gives us like, say there wasn't equal to 0, could you just make it? Could you just make
Picasso.
it?
Yeah, you should put that on your page.
like if something was on the other side, or if this was just nothing.
Yeah, there's nothing there.
That will get
Then you
everywhere.
can't, it's not an
Okay,
equation, you
yes.
can't solve it. I would not ask you to solve it, I would just say factor or something like that.
Oh, I know what to do.
Okay, so now we were just left with a 3-term polynomial, and there's no number in front here anymore, so we can just find things that multiply to give us 9, but add to give us -6. What are those 2 factors?
3, -3, -3.
-3. So what's this gonna be? How about someone else other than
X.
Bellamy and Kinley?
X minus 3x plus 1.
Very close.
X minus 3, X minus 3.
Yes.
Brain
If
don't
it was plus, this would be gone, and it would just say -9. It's okay. Oh, sorry.
work. Stop dying.
I'm actually better than I was this weekend. That was. I had to judge Bible reading, and I had this like coughing, spasming attack, and during this kid's Bible thing, and I told him before, and I was like, I'm not doing good. If I start coughing, just keep going. I was like crying, like tears were coming down my face. I was trying to not cough so bad, and he was reading his Bible reading, and I was just like, and I was just like, keep going. It's so good. I felt so bad. I was like, I'm so sorry. Just keep going.
He probably thought you were like praising him, like you're crying, because it's just so beautiful how he's reading it.
I felt so bad for that kid.
Dang, I did good.
And then he was like exercising a demon.
He goes to his teacher, he's like, I made a teacher cry.
Okay, do you remember what we did when we got here with quadratics? What's the next step to solve it?
Run away as far as possible.
one equal to 0.
Yes! Make each piece, because of the zero product property rule, each piece could be equal to 0 separately, and we would get that answer. So you've got to make the 2x equal to 0 and solve that. X minus 3 equal to, now we have this twice, so you don't really need to write
Yeah,
this.
can you do x minus 3 like squared?
Yes.
Okay.
But what you need to know, because this is actually important that this appears twice. So x equals 0.
What is 0 divided by 2? 0.
0 divided by anything is 0.
But 2
Okay.
divided by 0.
The world explodes. All right.
0 divided.
So
3 plus 1.
what happened here with the number 3?
It flips. It's
Yes.
It's twice. It's twice.
Oh,
Yeah.
like-
But yes, it did flip to solve it. But we had, this is called a repeated solution, or what do we call repeated? Yeah. Solution. And this actually means something on our graph. Okay. So when you have a repeated solution, what this is going to look like on your graph is that
Is it gonna go like back and hit 3 again?
kind of, it actually bounces off of 3. So like this means this is a cubic. So it's gonna go through 0, and at 3, instead of going through it, it's gonna bounce off of 3.
Oh, so that's how you know if there's an up or down, bumpity bump.
Yeah, yes, it's one of
Very
the
technical terms.
Wait, say it again.
That's how I speak
do you
math.
know?
So, because this
That's
is a
how you speak
repeated
math.
solution,
Yeah.
now, it matters how many times it's repeated. So this is actually the rule. If your solution occurs an odd number of times,
It's gonna
so
go through.
odd number of solutions, it goes
Through.
through the point,
Yeah.
okay? So, odd number solutions, it goes through the point.
But if it was just x equals 0, x equals 3.
It would come back through this and it would just be a quadratic actually.
Oh.
Even number of solutions,
So if it was like x equals 2.
no, if it, an even number of them, like this happened
Oh, there's
2
only one.
times.
Oh.
And
So
that's
if it was like
1,
x.
2, 3.
Yeah.
So if it was like x squared equals 3. How would it be? What do you mean?
It's
Like-
x cubed.
This was repeated 2 times, and 2 is an even number.
Yeah, so it would be going down.
It's gonna bounce off.
Oh. So if it was like x equals 0, x equals 3, x equals -3.
Then it would go through all of those points. Yeah.
Oh, so the x equals 3 is the solution, not the x equals 0. That just doesn't matter.
No, it is
Oh.
a solution. It
so
just
then
happens
why is
one
it
time.
bouncing off if it's odd?
It's going through 0
Oh, it goes to the
Because
first
it's
point.
because it's an odd
Oh.
number of solutions. There's 0 happens one time.
Okay, excuse me, I'm
I
confused.
get what
Yeah.
you're
What?
saying.
X equals 3 happens 2 times.
Wait, so
2
what
is an
that's
even number.
Ms.
Okay.
Brown,
Yeah.
are you
Bounce.
saying that if it was an odd number of solutions, it would not go into the
It would just be
bottom,
like this down.
bottom section?
No, if it's an odd number of solutions, like let's say I had x equals 1, that happens one time. X equals 2, let's do x equals something bigger.
5.
4, x equals 4. So this happens one time, this happens 2 times, okay? And then let's say we have x equals 5, I'm gonna do another.
I actually really understand this. This is easy.
I don't.
This happens one time,
Yeah.
okay?
So that was
We've got
4.
So it's gonna go through 1.
It's telling you how your graph is.
Bounce
set
off
to
of
be
2,
written.
Yes.
or bounce off of 4, and then go through 8.
Yes.
Okay, I get what you're
Wait,
saying.
hold on, hold on.
I get what you're saying.
Because
So that means it's going down, which makes it evens, and which means it's both going
So
down.
it's, 2,
I
and
get
then
what you're saying.
here's 4, here's 8. So it's gonna go through 1,
I
bounce
understand.
off of this,
Both up,
And
I
then
guess.
go
and then
through
go
8.
through 8.
Oh.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Big
And you
dogs.
see there's 4 x's, it's a quadratic.
And it's
That
a
makes
quartic.
sense.
Oh,
Or
wait.
quartic,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm sorry,
quartic.
I said that.
Wait,
What's
does
the
it
3?
matter? Is it gonna tell you like
Cubic.
how far the bottom goes down?
Good that you
Like
know
this
that it's
one?
on the top.
Yeah, you would have to do some
Nice.
work in there to figure that out.
good to know.
Wait, can you leave that for a second? I need to-
So the
Right.
even
Linear-
odd does not have to
linear-
do with these numbers, it has to do with the number of times.
Oh,
Now,
quadratic.
if it was 3, let's say we had x minus 4 or x
I don't know
equals
what
4
type of
3
usually
times,
Cubic.
it would go through that because 3 is an
cubic.
odd number. So
Wait, so how
an
do you
odd
know?
number of solutions.
How'd you know how to go this way instead of this way?
I just made it up because I didn't actually give you, you're right, because I don't actually have an equation there that says positive or negative in front.
You can erase it.
That makes sense.
So that's the connection between the solutions and the graph, okay?
I will never.
I'd rather stay away from graphing and just learn the equations, because I don't want to use graph paper.
Can you turn the air
Well, I
up?
just-
Well, you don't have to
I know
use
it is.
graph.
But you know what I
paper.
can do
I
that
don't
really
need
helps?
to
If
use
I
a
know
good
the
calculator.
data,
Yeah.
Because
Get
I
a good
know the
calculator.
data.
This math class is pay to win.
This
I could
math class
probably
is pay to win.
actually kind of-
But Brown hates it being free.
Calculators.
Pick me up, so I can't work out at the iron shop, so I can work out in our garage at the house. It's gonna be so cool.
Hey, working out Nicole's better for you.
Just wear
Oh
like
my
a
gosh,
whole
it's
bunch of
crazy.
clothes.
School
Yeah,
in
like
general
wear
is
a
pay to win. Jack.
Puffer jacket.
You'd be like, that's my pump cover. I really need it.
For real.
School in general is pay to win. What do you mean?
That's true.
Just casually turn my back.
Was that your? Oh man.
Okay.
Not my jeans being a little too short. Also the hair on my legs.
Why did you have such a strong pop from those twists?
Lip balm.
You need to go see a
My
chiropractor.
lips are tearing.
Yep.
Feel like a woman.
Oh my gosh.
What?
I thought it was
Talk about my hair.
Is it
so
too
much.
cold?
Can I
You're
put
what?
it a little
Yeah.
bit?
I mean, it honestly already feels better in here, but yeah. you just-
Oh, it's like 27 outside.
Literally.
No, it's 33.
Good job,
28
Kinley.
actually.
I thought it was 33.
Oh, do you want
No,
actually
it's
know the
28.
actual temperature?
28.
I
Never
got you.
mind, forget what I said.
Wait, let me guess.
I got
Hang
what I
on, you
want.
ready? Hang on.
Hold on, don't say it. It's
Oh,
right
no,
there.
no, Bella's wrong.
No, it's not. It's right here.
Nope, you're wrong actually.
Wait.
You're wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you are wrong.
What did you say?
She said 28.
What's it feel like,
30.
Jack?
Alright.
What's the real feel?
Okay, it feels like it's 18.
28.
It's 29.
Feels like it's 18.
So
Green-
off by one. Really?
Yes, Greenville says 28. I'm
It
looking at
says
it right here.
It says 29. I'm looking at it right
Okay,
here.
Close enough, bro.
Zeros, solutions,
28.
roots, x-intercepts. These are all.
Mine's
the same.
location based. Are you okay? Yeah, you.
These
you're
are
on the
just
location
all
too.
different names for basically the same thing, okay? Depending on what you see. If it
Icky.
says find the zeros, you're probably in this format, like f of x equals. It's probably gonna look like that when it says find the zeros.
Do we have
And then you just make this zero and solve your equation. If it says find the solution,
Stop dying.
you've probably got like
Okay.
numbers, not f of x, okay? But they're all the same thing.
It's only 12 degrees in Alaska.
Only?
It's 28 here, and that's Alaska.
Look at North Dakota.
Alaska can get up to 90 degrees. It's not like, you know.
Yes, but not in
90's
winter.
not that much.
Yeah, next week it's negative 11. With a
Okay.
low of negative
So
17.
we
My
are
great
gonna
uncle used
find
to work
the
at the gold
zeros.
mines in Alaska. They wouldn't go to work if it was
Okay,
below
North
50.
Dakota's negative 17.
Or 50 below, excuse me.
Hey,
I'm not sure there's really much of a difference if it's 50
man,
below.
I would pay
between
to work
going
right
and
now.
not going to work. Huh?
If you can give me your attention for this last one, we'll be done. We'll end with this.
We can study.
That's a good deal.
All right, so we're gonna find the zeros first by, again, just by factoring. We need to practice this factoring, okay? So we're gonna find, when it says find the zeros, that just means make this zero, right, and solve the equation. It's the same thing as finding the solutions. So what that means is find what x is when y is 0. That's what that means.
Could you take out x?
I'm sorry,
Hold on.
calculator, but we don't do it.
Or just do x?
We can't do x at all because this doesn't have an x.
So we need
What
to
do you
take out
find?
2. Negative
Making
2.
this to where you'd be able to solve it because you're making it equal to zeros.
Yes.
Wait,
So
what are you
negative
trying to
2.
get?
Making it a problem.
Yes.
2.
So 2.
Negative 2.
It'd be good to get rid of this whole thing. So if we divide everything by negative 2, we can do that. Everything's divisible by 2.
So it'd be x to the fourth
Yes.
minus 8.
Minus,
8x
yes.
squared.
Plus.
Wait, 16.
Yes. So we're going to divide all of this by negative 2, which changes all those signs.
This is a very extreme function. Chat.
Now, if you remember, I did just a teeny little lesson on this, and you may not even remember. If this number right here is doubled this, and there's nothing here, you can actually split this up just like we do it when it's x squared x, okay? Because we can factor this into x squared times x squared, like that. And then we get x to the 4th here.
Oh
x
yeah.
squared. So you can do this just like we would those other ones we've been factoring, as long as this is double what this is, and then there's nothing there.
Wait, so it would be x to the negative 4. No.
You're on the right. X minus 4. So true.
Because, yeah.
Because
Oh, yeah. That's
what
Split
multiplies to get 16 but adds to get negative
Oh,
8.
negative
4,
Four.
negative 4.
Negative 4 times
X
6.
squared minus 4. X squared minus 4. And then you gotta factor
Technically,
it
you can
again.
put that into 2.
Yes, we do. Good. You have to factor that again. Do you recognize this pattern right here?
Yeah, so it's x minus 2x plus 2.
Yes. 2 times, right?
It's a very steep graph.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That graph is very, very steep.
Because you have 2 things as well.
Oh, no.
Oh, so that's a repeat. That's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, it's not.
Of that
The
one.
same thing repeated 4 times.
Oh, it's 2 of the minus
yeah.
2 to.
So this is irrelevant because there's no x attached to it. We don't need to do anything with that. If there's an x there, but there's nothing on that, so we just need to solve these little equations, right?
Which is just the opposite of each, so it's
Yes.
positive 2, negative 2, positive
Yes.
2, negative
So
2.
x equals 2, negative 2, 2, negative 2. So we got the solution of 2 times, and we got the solution of negative 2 times. That's an even number.
So would it be
Like
like
bounce off
2
the point.
squared, negative 2 squared?
No, okay, wait, hold on. So we got negative 2 twice, right? And we got positive 2 twice.
So from
They
positive
bounce
2, it goes to negative 2, then goes back to positive 2.
Well, no, it just means it's bouncing off of this point.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Wait.
you're right. So it's like
But it won't go
Now,
through it,
let's just think about this graph. Let's say we don't have access to anything to
it's
help
like
us.
this.
It looks like a Jeep.
Okay, that's
It's
this is a
close.
little
It's
dramatic.
close. It's very close to that. So 0 is in the middle of this, right? Let's figure out where we're at 0. If I plug in 0 for x, what am I gonna get? For what?
Negative 32.
Yes. If I plug in 0 for x, 0, 0, that goes away. So at 0, let's just pretend this down here is negative 32, okay?
Mhm.
So we're going here. Is it facing up or down?
Down.
Up.
Everyone agree down?
Yeah.
I agree up.
Negative.
Is it's negative? It's negative, so it's down. They're right. I was just waiting for Olivia to catch up. So, and it's quartic, so it's gonna look something like this, right?
That's what I did.
And if it's bouncing off here, because this is a doubled solution, okay? So this has to bounce, and so does this one, okay? And it's coming from down, so it's gonna come up here, bounce off, go through this, come up here, bounce
Wait, why
off.
is it going to negative 32?
Because 0.
We filled in, if we plug in 0 for x. then we get
Oh, I
negative.
get what you're
I was
saying.
just giving us a reference for the middle
Just
of the graph.
any reference at all.
So I did it right. I just didn't do the negative 32 thing.
Yeah.
Okay, we're done.
Yes.
Oh, dang it, Bella.
It's getting a little
Can we?
chilly.
Thank you.
I was like, what?
We didn't really care. It's not relevant for solving the equation because
Shut the
there's no
window.
x with it.
Okay.
It doesn't really
Oh, okay.
matter for the solution. Okay, we'll stop there. You've got 6 minutes if you need to do something for another class. I don't wanna go
Wait, where's the history?
Remember, if you need to do your test, I've got